Well, it's another evening here on the Premier League show live. You enjoy sports on Water TV. My name is Kwame Dwomoh, and this evening we're going to be taking a look at what transpired on match day 12 in the English Premier League. If you're a fan of Arsenal, you'll be celebrating your return to winning ways. But of course, if you're a fan of Manchester United, you will be disappointed with that concession of a last-minute goal against Cardiff. Brilliant game it was at Goodison Park and that Merseyside derby between Liverpool and Everton, of course, and we'll definitely be keeping you up to speed with all the latest controversies on match day 12, together with what we think were high points and low points. All this coming up after this break.
Sports, the thrill of the game.
We're back from the break, and I'm sure you're looking forward to matches that are coming up in the English Premier League and all that transpired over the weekend. As usual, I do have my guest in here, former Black Stars goalie coach Abubakar Damba is going to be here to help me look at what transpired on match day 12 in the English Premier League. Coach, it's always a pleasure to see you, and I'm sure you follow the matches that were honored over the weekend.
Very much so, and thanks for having me.
Well, as usual, we begin with our highlights package, and we bring you a wrap of all that transpired on match day 12 in the English Premier League.
Unbeaten run in all competitions. Sunday saw the champions travel to Cardiff, the city of Ryan Giggs' birth, for a first competitive meeting against the Bluebirds since 1975. The Welsh club started brightly against a much-changed United side that was struggling with injuries. Ben Turner's glancing header was dealt with by David De Gea. Wayne Rooney and Jordan Much tussled for possession down the left flank, and the United man was fortunate to escape harsher punishment after kicking out at the midfielder. Rooney went on to rub salt into Cardiff's wounds by giving United the lead.
And Rooney on the turn, deflected and scores, and the player who's lucky to be on the pitch has helped fire Manchester United in front.
Marouane Fellaini then rose well to meet a teasing free kick, but David Marshall did well to parry the ball away from danger. Cardiff managed to equalise as Much played an inch-perfect ball into the path of Fraser Campbell.
1-1! Manchester United sliced apart by one of their old players. Fraser Campbell, 3 goals this season, 2 against Manchester City, and now 1 against Manchester United.
United regained the lead on the stroke of half-time with a strong front post header from Patrice Evra. The captain did well to lose his marker and meet Rooney's corner. United looked to kill off the game with a third goal, but were kept at bay. Sloppy defending by the Red Devils saw the ball presented to Campbell, whose delicate chip beat De Gea, but not the crossbar. Giggs received a mixed response as he came on 5 days before his 40th birthday. Danny Welbeck and Rooney linked up well, with the former blasting wide. With the win all but secured, Cardiff substitute equalised.
And Kim! Cardiff are level! Just as 90 minutes appeared on the scoreboard, the South Korean Kim scores his first Premier League goal, and in all likelihood earns a point for Cardiff City.
Rooney inexplicably elected to try and square the ball to Danny Welbeck late on, allowing Marshall to gather. The superb advert for the Premier League ended in a 2-2 draw.
Etihad Stadium. City were eager to climb from 9th spot on the log, while Spurs were looking to add to their meagre tally of 9 goals this season. The Londoners got off to a horrible start as a clearance from Hugo Lloris didn't make it out of his side's half, and Sergio Aguero unleashed a shot goalwards that was saved by the French goalkeeper, only for Jesus Navas to pounce on the rebound and send it into the back of the net 13 seconds into the game. Lloris was again guilty of poor clearing, and it would be Aguero again to try to find his first of the match, but saw his attempt saved, leaving Alvaro Negreira to make sure City found their second. Aguero finally found that elusive goal and City's third in the 41st minute, slotting the ball into the bottom left corner after a fine cross from Navas.
It's not easy. Sergio Aguero and City are out of sight here.
The humiliation didn't end there for Andre Villas-Boas's men, as a 1-2 between Fernandinho and Yaya Toure allowed the Ivorian to make some space for himself and deliver a sitter for Aguero, which he made no mistake putting behind the net.
Aguero 4, ripping Tottenham to shreds.
Some sublime footwork from Negredo allowed him to maneuver around Michael Dawson, leaving the centre-back helpless, and finished the move off with a top-class shot past Lloris. It would be Navas to wrap up Spurs' nightmare as he found himself with the keeper to beat, and did so, handing AVB's men their biggest hiding in 17 years.
What he's doing here, I've no idea. Good pressure from Giroud, who can't quite believe his luck. But talk about unforced errors. This is simply unforgivable here from Artur Boric.
Make them pay again here. Mertesacker again, that movement towards the near post. Thought he was held. And the referee says yes, penalty.
Yeah, Jose Font, I think, had a tough game. No hesitation from Mark Clattenburg, no complaints from Font either. Yeah, he's got a handful of them. Mark Clattenburg looking in from that side. A lot of that goes on in the box. What a chance for Arsenal to put this game to bed now.
Is this the moment they settle it? Olivier Giroud against Artur Boric. Giroud! Oh, it's Boric! Arsenal are swatting Southampton away and staying in charge of top spot in the Barclays. What a start for Liverpool!
Well, I remember Everton having problems defensively on set plays in this fixture last season, and they've struggled again here because the room that's been afforded to Coutinho far post is ridiculous from an Everton viewpoint. It really is. I mean, Suarez ends up competing for it. You can just see him peel off Coutinho. Nobody goes with him. It might have just come off an Everton head in trying to deal with Suarez, but he has the freedom of Goodison Park to be able to just prod that in. McCarthy's already over the line, so by the time he gets any contact on it, Liverpool have scored.
Well, the perfect start for Brendan Rodgers and Liverpool. For Luis Suarez!
It's been left to Leighton Baines and his dead ball expertise to float this one in. I mean, for Liverpool, Lukaku and Distan are the guys that they've principally got to make sure they keep tight.
And the home side hoping to push for a winner.
So Distan around the back. Skirtle. Oh, yes! They've stabbed it in for the leveller. Kevin Morales. 2 goals in a few minutes on Merseyside. A conversion in rugby union. Gerrard is there as well. Agger is a third option. But it is Luis Suarez. It's around the wall and it's brilliant! Oh, it's another special Merseyside memory for Luis Suarez.
Well, we did say that Tim Howard needed to get his wall right.
Lukaku who runs up, a deflection, and Mignolet again has to react. Which he does wonderfully well. Pienaar, Barry, great pullback, Lukaku!
certainly the first one. That's a good stop from Mignolet. Didn't get enough behind it, Delafeu. Yellow carded for it too.
Well, time running out for Liverpool. That's a great ball in! It's 3-3! Daniel Sturridge! In this seesaw Merseyside derby.
West Brom left to rue missed chances as Villa stage a second-half comeback. This West Midlands derby came to life very early on. Brunt with the ball forward.
Lovely ball down the middle for Wong, who controlled it perfectly and scores a wonderful goal. 2.5 minutes gone. Albion take the lead with a beauty.
West Brom's second came courtesy of an error from Aston Villa. Bakuna's pass picked out by Long.
Shane Long takes the bows.
11 minutes played, 2-0 West Brom. The home side had chances to kill the game, notably through Sessegnon. Kozak nearly produced something special, but Long was all over Villa. He also could have made it 3-0. Triple substitution by Villa manager Paul Lambert had the desired effect. Agbon Lahore, Vyman and Delph entered the fray. Vyman immediately threatened. Sessegnon was guilty of missing another good chance before the comeback began. With just over 20 minutes to play, Buchanan's cross was flicked on by Vyman and El Hamadi volleyed home. Lambert was somehow feeling the heat. This, though, certainly warmed his heart.
Splendid effort by Westwood! My word, what a goal!
His goal was a fantastic strike. Terrific technique. He's got terrific footballer, really clever footballer. And, yeah, worthy, because I thought he was outstanding.
I think if the game goes 3-0, effectively it could be over. From 2-0 up at home, you should win the game. We feel as though it's a missed up.
A no-nonsense haircut, and Jose Mourinho was after a no-nonsense performance from Chelsea, who picked up just 1 point from their last 2 league games. This was the 100th meeting in all competitions between the London clubs. West Ham had only managed 4 points from their 5 matches this season at Upton Park. Once again, Sam Allardyce selected a striker-free lineup. Commentary from Efne Koku and Richard Kaufman.
Demel wins it back, Collison. Now Downing, Nolan at the far post. There is Nolan, gets his head to it. Cole! Joe Cole in there again. There's a shout for handball. Joey gets it away. Nolan found a little bit of space there at the far post. Okay. A little narrow, isn't it, there from Chelsea? That's support from Demel. And is that a penalty? Oscar got there first. It is a penalty.
Crazy defending, absolutely. There's the error, awful play from Guy Demel. Escalante comes out, he knows he's committed a foul, he knows it's a penalty. Mourinho wants a red card. I'm sorry, referee Chris Foy has done the right thing.
Frank Lampard against his old side. Lampard scores and Chelsea lead.
Well, that's his favourite spot, Frank Lampard, straight down the middle, especially when you're not scored for a while. Take all the tension out of the equation, settle your nerves, and put your foot through the ball.
Lovely touch by Hazard, wasn't it? Oscar. And it's 2-0. Wonderful finish from Oscar. It's oh so easy for Chelsea. What a simple goal.
It's a lovely flick from Eden Hazard. James Collins gets sucked in. Once there's a big hole, he can't recover. Left with Escalante and just drags the shot back across. The goalkeeper actually slips as he takes a shot, but it's accurately enough, right in the back of the net. The first time he's found a little pocket of space, and West Ham get punished.
Well, surely now it's time for plan B. There is going to be a double substitution here for West Ham United. No man is going to see Joe Cole go off. Disappointed, of course, against his former club to be off the pitch after less than 40 minutes. Kwame Dwomoh is the player who comes on, and also making way Jack Collison for Modibo Maiga. Chelsea win it back. Oh, what a save that is from Yaskalainen, and really good effort. Savioletto.
Top class play all round. That little flick from Eden Hazard, and that's heading into the top corner. Smart save.
David Sullivan wraps up warm, isn't it? But being warmed by what he's seeing so far from his team. Cahill off the line by Noble.
The defenders did their job this time round. Super header from Cahill. Didn't expect Frank Lampard to cross with a corner. Right on the money. Goalkeeper can't come for this one.
There could be more danger here for West Ham. This is Ramirez. Eto. Overlapping at Pilaqueta. Ramirez in the centre. Oscar. Excellent counter-attacking move from Chelsea.
One penalty area to the other. It was great to see him play. Pilaqueta just clipped that ball to the far post. Oscar really should have been 3 or 4 yards further in with a much simpler attempt on the goal.
West Ham, if they could just nick a goal, could provide a bit of grandstand finish. Downey trying to do that. You know, I think looking to see if he could try and let it go for the corner, but has to take the ball. Nice bit of skill from the Ivorian. Lovely bit of skill. Now, can he find his teammates? He can. Maiga, though, couldn't find the finish.
Well, what feet, what skill, what determination from Guy Demel. Waltzes past 3 Chelsea players, fires the ball, takes a deflection. Off John Terry, I believe, and on the near post. He's going to do better.
Ramirez. Ivanovic, Hazard. Lampard! His second of the game! Super finish from Frank Lampard! And kisses the badge at the bowling ground. That will hurt the West Ham fans even more.
Yet again, the instigator of the move is Eden Hazard. Lovely flick to Lampard, and he's not standing still, waiting for anybody. Back off the shoulders of Joey O'Brien. What a way to end the drought. 2 against your former club. That silences the Blue Boys yet again.
But there is the full-time whistle. It was easy street for Jose Mourinho. As easy as 1-2.
Chelsea and Tottenham had left Newcastle in the right frame of mind as they faced Norwich at St James's Park. Uncertain times for Chris Hughton, once in charge of Newcastle, of course. The Canaries let in 7 on their last away day at Manchester City, and defensive frailties were soon apparent once more as an unmarked Loic Remy headed home Johan Kabai's corner. The Frenchman's 8th goal in as many games, but it really should have been prevented. Tim Krul was in remarkable form for Newcastle in their last game at Spurs, but had little to do in the first half. But there was a slight scare when Anthony Pilkington nudged a header towards the far post before the ball was cleared. Hughton was a fine defender in his day, and John Ruddy is usually a very reliable goalkeeper, but he spilled Shola Amiobi's header to gift Johan Gouffran II. Moussa Sissoko with the cross, Ruddy left red-faced by what came next. It would have been 3 before half-time, but for a sharp save by the Norwich #1. Amiobi, the man denied. Alan Pardew keen for his side to maintain the pressure. It was a different story in the second half, though. Norwich grew in confidence and pulled one back thanks to a fine header from Leroy Fer. Getting the better of Fabrizio Coloccini, the Dutch midfielder offered the visitors a lifeline, but Newcastle held.
Set for the Uruguayan didn't look too daunting. Plays a Stoke side who hadn't won in the league since August. Mark Hughes' men have become draw specialists. 3 in the last 4 matches, still trying to recapture the days when no away team enjoyed their outing at the Britannia Stadium. The managers are old friends from their playing days at Chelsea, and back then either might have made more of the early chance that fell to Stephen Fletcher. The Sunderland striker closed down quickly by Asmir Begovic. That spurred the home team into action, Stephen Nzonzi breaking free, and the rest was straightforward for Charlie Adam. 2 in 2 matches for the midfielder, who netted the last-ditch penalty which earned Stokes' point at Swansea last time out. And the Scotsman was involved again in the game's big talking points. Wes Brown's strong challenge on Adam brought a surprising response from the referee. Kevin Friend decided it was reckless, despite the defender appearing to take the ball cleanly. Down to 10 men and a goal behind, Sunderland's prospects of a fruitful day's work had taken a serious hit, their chances limited. Adam Johnson's effort was about as good as it got. So it was no real surprise when Stoke killed off the contest in the final 10 minutes. Nzonzi's cool finish taking some of the heat off City towards the bottom as they moved to the zone, leaving their under-fire manager Martin Jol in desperate need of a win. He's been joined on the bench by René Meulenstein, the former Manchester United assistant manager, who's now Fulham's head coach. It was an early scare for the Dutch duo. Ronan Lamar's shot deflecting just wide as Swansea looked to win at Craven Cottage for the 3rd season running. But this was promising for Jol and his new right-hand man, Darren Bent, finding space, even if he couldn't find a finish. And just 4 minutes later, the striker had the goal in his sights again. More frustration for Fulham. Lifted by the reprieve, the focus switched to Swansea. Nathan Dyer denied by Martin Stekelenburg, right on the stroke of half-time. 11 minutes after the break and a Swansea free kick, Fulham switched off. Alejandro Pozuelo allowed plenty of time to line up his cross. And while Wilfred Boney led the celebrations, home defender Aaron Hughes applied the final touch. Fulham's response was an equaliser from an unlikely source. Possibly a mis-hit cross from Scott Parker, but if it was a shot, it couldn't have been better placed. The industrious midfielder's first goal for more than 2 years had the home side hoping to push for a winner. Instead, they were undone by a strike that was definitely deliberate. Substitute John Joe Shelby delivering the decisive blow with just 10 minutes remaining to leave Jol and his
in the English Premier League this weekend. We brought you the highlights of all the matches that transpired over the weekend. Some very classic goals. Coach, you saw the goals, and I'm sure you were delighted with what you saw.
Yeah, extremely delighted. You know, a lot of talented players out there displaying their individual capabilities. Fantastic. I think the EPL is getting more interesting and very, very unpredictable.
The English Premier League getting a lot more interesting and a lot more tough, if you do ask me. Let's move on now and let's take a look at what transpired as far as our goals are concerned. As usual, we bring you what we think, together with my technical team, of course, what we think is our top 5 goals of the week. So let's now take a look at them, beginning with our goal number 5 for this week.
That's a great ball in! It's 3-3! Daniel Sturridge! In this seesaw Merseyside derby!
Again, it's really good ball in, and Sturridge is just left unmarked from post, and it's a cracking little touch he gets. There you go, just gets in between.
That's a great ball in! It's 3-3! Daniel Sturridge!
So this is what we think is our goal number 5 of the week. I just wish we had the opportunity to do some chit-chat over that. But, well, let's move on now and get to look at what we think is our goal number 4 for this week.
That's a great ball in!
Nasri, Aguero, Laurie stops, Negredo, it's in! Alvaro Negredo again! Manchester City moving clear again on home territory. And I think it was a disappointing clearance from the goalkeeper once again, because it's played upfield from the back pass from Cabal. Fernandinho heads it totally unmarked, finds Nasri, but look at the marking. Holtby should be hooking on to Aguero there.
Well, so that was our goal number 4 for this week. Let's move on and get to see our goal number 3 for the week.
Next reason
But you cannot give these two strikers the opportunity, and it's too easy. The ball easily played square. No pressure on the ball here. Fantastic touch with the left heel, cuts it back into position, and what a magnificent finish. This is dangerous at the moment, the way to defend.
So that was our goal number 3 scored by Alvaro Negredo. Let's move on and get to see our goal number 2 for this week.
Had the home side hoping to push for a winner. Instead,
well, a bit of a challenge with that goal number 2. Hopefully we can see our goal number 1 for this week.
Suarez, stunning free kick. Liverpool in front for a second time.
So that man, Luis Suarez, winning our goal number 1 for this week. Coach, again, I'm sure you might have your opinion as to which goal should have been better, which goal should have been maybe first or in whatever category. But I mean, some of the goals that were scored this weekend, just top notch.
Of course, fantastic goals. I mean, you cannot take this away from these talents from these players, because they are top notch players in their own class. You know, very, very technical. But it's very, very true that Suarez's goal has really touched my heart. I think your technical man did a very, very great job. This guy won't stop scoring. He can't stop scoring. You know, just look at the technique, the bending technique, you know, he used. This is a fantastic player.
That is a fantastic player, and you just can't stop him from scoring goals at the moment. Well, the strikers and the midfielders have done their bits. Let's get to see what the goalkeepers have also done this week, starting with our save number 3 for this week.
And the break on here for Deulofeu. He's away. It's the Spaniard by Mignolet.
It's not the greatest finish. It was wonderfully played through in Liverpool.
Well, this is our goal number 3 for this week, and that close, save number 3, sorry, that close for Coach, for you in a 1v1 situation like this. What does the goalkeeper do? Just spread yourself?
Yeah, that is exactly,
and just hope.
That is exactly what he did, because the striker kept the ball straight in the middle of the goalpost. If he had gone to the side, it would have committed, he would have been able to commit the goalkeeper. But he went straight at the goalkeeper. I don't think it was the best of finishes. But the goalkeeper stayed on his feet, kept his eyes on the ball, and all that he did was to spread his body, you know. And it was a good save.
All that he did was to spread his body, and the little kid, Gerard Deulofeu, failing to score that goal when Everton needed it. We move on and take a look at the save number 2 for this weekend.
Barkley. It's a tester, and it's tipped around by Mignolet.
Wonderful save. He had to be very sharp then, the Belgian.
Barkley.
So when you have a look at this save, well, in the beginning you think it is a little simple, but watch this. The ball bounces right in front of the goalkeeper before the goalkeeper even goes down. But how he makes the save, unbelievable.
Yeah, you must be extra flexible and extra sharp to be able to, you know, pull out such a save. Fantastic goalkeeping.
Fantastic goalkeeping, according to our man in the studio. Well, he was a former goalkeeper himself, and he will understand the tenets of some of these things. Well, goalkeeper Mignolet has been voted, has made a save number 3. He's made the save number 2 for this week as well. Well, let's get to see who makes the save number 1 for this weekend.
Morales to Lukaku. It's Lukaku. Mignolet stayed back and timed it perfectly. But this is...
Now, this is a very interesting one. We did see goalkeeper Mignolet making or winning our save number 3. He won our save number 2 as well. And incidentally, he's won our save number 1, the same goalkeeper. Yeah. And they all had to do with the number of saves he made in that Merseyside derby over the weekend. Again, he spread himself very well to prevent Lukaku from scoring. And watch this free kick as well. The ball gets a wicked deflection. He's moving to one direction. He still comes back to make the save. What a goalkeeper Liverpool have signed.
That's why it's very important to stay on your feet. You always have to react to the situation but not anticipate. And it was a great reaction. You see, the first save, he narrowed the angle very, very well and stayed on his feet and was focused on the ball. The important thing is to focus on the ball. And he was very, very focused. You see, spreading his body very wide. You know.
He's spreading his body very, very, very wide and making that save. Well, away from what the goalkeepers and the strikers have been doing, well, there was a lot of controversy in the English Premier League this weekend. We have 4 of these for you. Let's begin with what we think is our controversy number 1 for this weekend.
In the game's big talking points. West Brown,
what we think is our controversy for the week, because West Brown makes the clearance, and for reasons, well, he barely had any contact with the player, but the referee deemed it as a very poor challenge and gave him a straight red card.
You know, referees can always, the intent. He came in so aggressively. The opponent was only lucky, to have escaped contact, because if he had had contact, he could have injured him. This was a threatening, a career-threatening tackle. Somehow, his intent, the intention was very bad.
The intention of West Brown being seen by referee friend to be that poor, and the player gets sent off for this particular tackle. Let's move on and get to see our controversy number 2 for this weekend. Now, this couldn't have been poorer. It was a very, very bad tackle by Mirallas on Luis Suarez. And when you watch this again, absolutely terrible. Yeah. Should he have been sent off? For a lot of people, yes.
I think so.
The referee only thought the player deserved only a yellow card in this particular incident.
But for me, I think the red card decision was right, because, just imagine a high boot tackle. This is not allowed in football. You always have to be your brother's keeper, despite the fact that you are opponents. Just look at the situation. It's
very
not the
poor.
best.
And for Liverpool manager Brendan Rodgers, I recall him saying after that game that he was just imagining if it was Luis Suarez who had made this tackle, he would have been sent off. Because he has a reputation.
He has a reputation. And players who have these negative reputations will always face it every time. And sometimes their utterances to, does matter. They will never shut up.
Well, they'll never shut up, and Luis Suarez would always speak his mind. And Kevin Mirallas getting away with this particular tackle. Let's move on and get to see our controversy number 3. A lot happening in the English Premier League this weekend. And incidentally, this was also in the game involving Liverpool and Everton between skipper Steven Gerrard and Gareth Barry. Well, for a lot of Everton fans, they thought that Gerrard went in with the elbow, and he also deserved to be sent off.
But in this case, you realize that there wasn't so much force. And I believe the player was somehow protecting himself. But swinging the arm was what he shouldn't have done. But you can see that he tried to protect himself by lifting his arm. But you see the swing is the final swing, which I think was not the best.
Well, a lot happening in the English Premier League this week. And let's move on and get to see our final controversy for this week. Let's see that man, Wayne Rooney. What did he do? Let's have a look. Now, when you watch this particular kick again, you would be amazed as to how the referee thought that Wayne Rooney deserved only a booking. Now, watch the replay from this particular incident. He clearly lashed out at the player. There's no doubt about it when you watch the replay. Now, just watch it. He just lashed it out at the player. Watch this.
This is very, very unfair. It's an off-the-ball incident. But I'm sure the referee took this decision because of Rooney's demeanor. He showed a little bit of remorse. He was quiet. And I'm sure that is why the referee decided to be a little bit lenient. But in any case, this should be a sending off, should be a marching of orders.
And it was a big talking point in that game because Rooney did contribute to the goals that were scored by Manchester United, and United had played with 10 men down. I'm not too sure what exactly would have happened as far as this game is concerned. But of course, away from the pitch and away from all the classic goals that are being scored, there's also a lot happening in the background. We bring you what we think are stories making the rounds with the English Premier League news.
Half in the 3-3 draw with Liverpool on Saturday. The length of time he faces on the sidelines ranges between 10 days and 6 weeks, depending on how quickly the injury heals. Well, Baines will definitely be out of Everton's game against Stoke this weekend, and he'll also miss the trip to Manchester United a week on Wednesday. Everton travel to the Emirates in 12 days' time, so he could return for that. A 6-week absence could see him miss most of the Christmas period up to Everton's trip to Stoke on New Year's Day.
We come in, we have some breakfast at work, and then we all have a team meeting first thing in the morning. He didn't train yesterday because his hamstring was tight, so we'll have he's one to collar this morning and just have a quick look at. We'll basically go through the whole squad, looking at who's got any issues. Green means that they train with no issues. Yellow means that they've got some issues, but they're able to train, and you may need to modify some of training. And then red means that they're injured, or they're unable to train that day. That's the morning meeting, and then really from that the players start coming in. At that point I normally go and see the manager and tell him what players are fit for that day.
The dialogue is very, very important, but I think we have a great relationship, not only with her but with the others as well.
So if you take the yoga group, obviously, then Dan, which group?
I'll do the hammies and...
The hammies and Rich, I'll do the rollers. Then really it's time for treating the fit players, as we like to call them. It's a bit tight, isn't it? Push down. So if anyone needs strapping, massage, ongoing treatments, stretching, anything really that will involve us trying to help them feel as best as they can for the training session. Oh, that was a nice one. And the other way. At 10 o'clock there's an injury prevention session.
This time with the ball twisting, touch your heel. Pull your back up.
So we have a lot of different groups that happen.
Oh, wait! Right, shoes and socks off. Yoga is quite new out for footballers. I think Ryan Giggs has been doing it, so that's how we're winning over some of the players. So hands out your pockets, Ronjo. From here. Inhale nice and tall, shoulders down. I'm trying to maybe say it's a dynamic stretch and core session. Some of them are not so keen on doing the yoga. And then as you exhale, lengthen through the spine, yeah? Bend your knees a touch.
Or once the players are out on the field, one of us will either cover the training session or do some outdoor rehab, and one of us tends to stay inside and do the gym-based rehab. This is an alter-gravity treadmill, so what we can do with this is actually get him to still run, but with less load and less body weight through his tissues. The way the machine has been built as well also tries to give you as normal a running pattern as possible.
You're well looked after here by the girls, aren't you?
Yeah, they do all right. They're all good and stuff, and we just get on with our job with them. You know, we don't really see it as men or women or anything. We just physios and masseurs and stuff. So we just get on the job.
Once they finish those sessions, the players are coming back in, so it's putting the ice on.
How's it feeling?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's called RICE, so rest, ice, compression, elevation. And with this, you get the compression and the ice element together. It's really effective for any sort of soft tissue injury, to be fair. So we use that quite a lot. Since I've been here, the club has become more and more successful every season, so it's been a great time to be.
Well, I'll be very delighted to see a Ghanaian club go through their paces like this, but of course it's very expensive to run the kind of program that these clubs do run. And come to think of the fact that this is supposed to be Swansea, you wonder what the likes of Manchester United, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea and the big clubs do. Let's catch up with a lot more news as far as our gossip segment is concerned. Well, so Newcastle in the news, and they're likely to sign Reading goalkeeper Alex McCarthy if they lose our in-demand 25-year-old Team Crew. We'll see whether he stays or he moves on. Nikita Jelavic is struggling to get games at Goodison Park, and he might likely move on. Let's catch up with a lot more stories. Spurs in the news as well. Diego Perotti are set to be on the wish list of the club, and Emmanuel Adebayo stands to bank £1.4 million if he's still at White Hart Lane in February under the terms of his £5 million move from Manchester City at the start of last season. So let's now pick up with the results of all the matches that were honored this weekend. Week number 12 of the English Premier League. It was West Brom 2, Aston Villa 2, Man City 6, Spurs 0, Cardiff 2, Manchester United 2, Everton 3, Liverpool 3, Arsenal 2, Southampton 0, Fulham 1, Swansea 2, Hull City 0, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 2, Norwich 1, Stoke 2, Sunderland 0, and of course West Ham losing by 0-3 to Chelsea at Upton Park. Let's get to see the table now. Now, this is the first half of the English Premier League table. Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Southampton, what a season they're having. Manchester United, Everton, Newcastle United, Spurs, and Swansea in the first half of the table. Let's get to see the second half of the English Premier League table. So here we are. We have our West Brom, Aston Villa, Hull City, Stoke, Cardiff, Norwich, West Ham United, Fulham, Crystal Palace, and Sunderland making up the second part of the table. We'll get to see our top scorers list pretty shortly, so that you have a fair idea who is dominating the Goal King chart. Sergio Aguero, he's on 10 goals so far in the English Premier League. Daniel Sturridge, Luis Suarez, all on 9 goals. Lloyd Cheremi, what a season it's turning out to be for him. With 8 goals so far in the English Premier League this season. Quite a number of players also on 7 and 6 goals. Let's quickly move on and have a look at our matches coming up this weekend. So here we are. We have Villa coming up against Sunderland. Cardiff will play Arsenal. Everton will play Stoke. Norwich City will play Crystal Palace. West Ham United will play Fulham. Newcastle United will play West Brom. Spurs will play Man United. Hull City will play Liverpool. Chelsea up against Southampton. Man City will play Swansea. In a big game on Joy Sport and Multi-TV this weekend, it's going to be Cardiff City versus Arsenal. So for a lot of Arsenal fans and for a lot of followers of the English Premier League, you get to see Arsenal in action yet again. Arsenal play Southampton. That game was live here on Joy Sports on Multi-TV. Arsenal featuring yet again, and it's understandable. They're on top of the log and everybody wants to see Arsenal. That's why we're bringing you the game involving the league leaders, Arsenal versus Cardiff. Cardiff also pulling a lot of strings in their game against Manchester United, getting a result right at the death. Coach, on that note, I would want to say thank you very much for making time to pass through our studio. I'm sure you've enjoyed the broadcast today, and hopefully you'll be with us same time next week.
God willing, we'll see ourselves again.
God willing, we're going to see ourselves again. And for you at home, I'm so sorry that I was not able to open the phone lines because unfortunately, we have run out of time and we would have to check out of here as far as the Premier League show is concerned for this week. But before we do go, we have a surprise for you today. And the surprise is our miss of the week. It was that game involving Liverpool and Everton in the Merseyside derby. Liverpool could have easily won that game if this ball had gone in. On that note, we draw the curtains. Just have a look.
Suarez. Oh, and it's broken here, and Allen! That's a chance. That is a shocking miss.